morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Christiana. Today we're continuing demo days, and Melanie is going to be showing us the Schacht Fringe Twister and Rope Machine. So be sure to stay tuned because Melanie will have a code at the end of the video if you want to purchase one of these guys. And I'm going to step off camera and be Melanie's lovely assistant when she needs me. So.
Thank you very much, Christiana. So I'm going to show you two great tools that we have from Schacht Spindle Company, which are made very close to here in Boulder, Colorado. The first one that I'm going to show you is the incredible rope machine, which is a really handy tool for trims if you're making maybe jewelry, belts, and more. So an example of what this great rope machine will make is something like this. So this is made out of 100% wool. It makes a beautiful twist, and you can make some, I always think of a dog leash. You can make a leash, or you can make some really cool ropes. If you've got some jute or hemp, that would also be a really great thing to use for that. So I want to show you the incredible rope machine. It retails for $63, and there are two pretty basic pieces to it. So first you have the twisty bit, very technical term, and then you also have a clamp at this end. So you'll need a table that you can clamp onto. This is adjustable, so it should fit most tables that you have. You're going to want to set it as far away, a little bit further away than the length of the rope that you want. There's going to be a little bit of take up once you're finished with your final rope. So give yourself as much space as you want for your final rope. And grab your material. You can use wool. Here I'm using a Zauber cotton ball. So the nice thing about that is this rope could be easily washable. Maybe you do want to use this for a dog leash or something like that. And you're going to take your tool. So this is about as far as I want my rope to be. I'm going to tie on to my first clamp here with the end of my rope. Here. Actually, could you hold this? Perfect. My fabulous assistant will help me. So I'm just going to, I'm going to make a little slip knot and hook onto this here. And I'm going to tie it a little bit tighter because I had it slip off on me before. So we're going to tie it onto our first hook. There's 3 hooks and 2 pegs at the end of our clamp. So we tie onto our first hook, and Christiana's just going to hold this here nice and tight for me. And I'm going to take this and go around the outside of peg A. And I'm going to come back, hook around. Maybe you can twist it this way. Oops, that's all right. Come back around peg A. I'm going to hook it around. Maybe bring it lower. That might help us. Okay. Hi, guy. Hook it around peg A. It is helpful to have a second person. It's possible to do it by yourself, but having a second person is much easier. All right. I'll hook it around peg A, maybe like this. Might do it. There we go. I'm going to come back, hook it from the outside around to peg B. And then I'm going to hook it onto my last third empty peg. I'm going to come back to the end and go all the way around the outside of both of my pegs back here. And then I'm going to end on my first peg that I initially tied onto. Now at this point, you can make this rope as thick as you want by doing that same tract over and over again to give yourself multiple thick rows of string. But for me today, for our demo, I'm just going to do that simple A-B peg and around the back. So right now I have 2 strands coming from each of my pegs. And I just broke my yarn, and so now we're ready to twist. So we're going to start going clockwise. See, I might just tip you down a bit.
Or I can stand here and twist.
Yes, thank you. So I'm going to start twisting this clockwise. And it's going to start putting some tension into our rope. and it'll start taking up the twist. If I could speed it up, I would.
Oh, and it's fingering right now.
Yes, it's wasting yarn.
And it is starting to twist in the individual.
Yeah, and what we're looking for ultimately is once I take off some of the tension, you can test to see if your yarn starts to kink on itself. And that's a good point to let us know that there's enough tension in our rope. So we're twisting, and we've got 3 strands of equally twisted yarn here, which is the beauty of this rope machine. See, maybe a little bit more. It is really thin yarn. I'm going to make a keychain, I think, today. So for anyone who's just joining us, we are doing a demo today on the Schacht Fringe Twister and the Incredible Rope Machine. So this is the Incredible Rope Machine from Schacht Spindle Company. Oh my goodness.
I think we're just making you want to
I know, right? Oh,
There you go.
Okay. So now the yarn has kinked back on itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Christiana, or if you want to come and hold this guy, Christiana is going to help me keep the tension on this. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull, starting from this end, from the separator. We're going to start pulling. Oh, I see a little extra twist I put in there. Yep. We're going to start pulling this out. And this is going to start twisting the yarn together. So you can slowly bring it in towards me. And it's going to start twisting on itself right away. So all you need to do is just gently pull it away from the separator. And if you're doing this by yourself, you'll just have your tool on the table. And I guess let's try it and see how that is. And I'm just going to sort of drag it towards me. One handy thing to do if you have a helper is if you could put a couple more clockwise twists in that to make it a little bit tighter. I know, you're like, oh. Perfect. And then I'll slowly bring it towards me a little bit more. Great. All right, maybe some more twists because I can feel it's getting a little bit looser at the end here. Great. Perfect. Yeah. All right.
Sure seems easier with 2 people.
I know. If you want to start pulling this, I'll put some more twist in here. So it's always good to have a fiber friend to help you out. Keep it nice and tight so you get a really consistent rope. I probably should have pulled that end off, but that's alright. Alright, and so once you get to the end, I'm just going to unhook from my 3 clamps, pull it off of the separator. Let's see if I can get this out of here, probably not. And then I'm just going to tie a knot on the end to keep my ends together. So now we have this cool rope. We use super thin yarn, so we just made a little bit thicker yarn today. But if you want to make yourself some cool jewelry, some necklaces, you can use that to make some ropes that vary from, super thin to much thicker if you add a lot more yarn into that process. So again, that's the Incredible Rope Machine. It retails for $63, and today with the coupon code TWIST20, you'll get 20% off, which is a great deal. It's better than you'll get even as a student in our weaving classes. So this is a really nice tool to have in your studio. All right, So the next item that we have is the Schacht Fringe Twister. And I would say this is an extremely important tool to have in your studio if you are a weaver. I definitely have seen fringe on knitting and crochet, but in particular in weaving you end up with a lot of fringe. So I brought some of my weaving to show you what you can do with a fringe twister. So here I have some really thick fringe on the end of a rug, and I think it adds a really nice finished touch to your projects. So here we have a woven scarf, one of our class samples, and we have some beautiful fringe at the end here. So to prep, before you use your fringe twister, you want to make sure your fringe is nice and even. So if you've got like a self-healing cutting board and maybe a rotary blade or some scissors, you can make sure everything is trimmed up nicely. Christiana, I might have you hold this for me. And this is my personal fringe twister. I love this. I twisted my fringe by hand one time, and that was the last time I'll probably ever do that. This retails for $43. Again, with Twist 20, it's going to be 20% off. And this pays for itself in time and just saving your hands. If you need some help, like maybe your fingers aren't super nimble to twist fringe by hand, this fringe twister is going to be super handy. So we have 3 prongs on our twister, very simple and similar to the rope machine. It twists around in the same direction. So we are going to sort of evenly split up our bundle here into 3 different prongs. So I'm going to take my first bunch, clip the end onto my fringe twister, onto my first prong. I'll take my second bunch, clip it on, and then my third bunch. Put that bad boy on there too. Okay, so you can see here I have my bundle of fringe clipped onto my 3 prongs. One thing I like to do here is to count how many times I do my twist, because we're going to copy it all the way down our entire fringe. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10. If you want a really tight fringe, you can keep going. Again, we're going to look to see if it's kinking back on itself, and that is. So that looks good, so that's 10. I'm going to take off 2 of my bundles. Ooh. And because I did that, I'm going to redo it. I let one of my bundles go, so that's a good thing to keep in mind, is to be a little careful. Once you're done with twisting the 3 individually, we're going to clip them all onto the same hook and twist them back on themselves. So it's all trial and error.
Hi, Gloria.
Hey, Gloria. All right. So we'll try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now very carefully, I'm going to unclip 2 of them. Be a little bit easier on a table maybe. And I'm going to clip them all from the end onto one hook. And then go counterclockwise, which is this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes I take it a little bit extra because it does untwist a bit once you tie it on. So that's 6. I like the way that that looks. So I'm going to take this off of my fringe twister clip and tie it into a knot on the end so it doesn't go anywhere. And easy as that, we have our first super cute fringe. Oh, there's another one on there. I didn't even see that. So super cute fringe. It's going to add a really nice finished look to this fringe shawl. And you can take it all the way across on both sides. It will save you at least half the time, if not more, if you're doing it by hand. So we have the fringe twister again. Retails for $43, is now 20% off today through the end of Friday. So you have all week to pull the trigger on this one. The incredible rope machine is $63 from Schacht here in Boulder. And again, 20% off Twist, all capital, TWIST 20 for 20% off at checkout in store or online. I believe that's everything.
I think that's it. And we have one more demo day next week. Teresa will be demonstrating, and for some reason I thought this week was the last one. My weeks are all running together right
It's
now.
summertime.
It's summer, so we will see you guys next week, and be sure to take advantage of the 20% off code. Again, TWIST20, all capitals, and that will take 20% off at checkout on the website. And if you come into the shop, be sure to mention it to whoever's checking you out, and it will take 20% off here in stores. So we'll see you guys next week. Have a lovely, very warm Tuesday today.
Yes. See you next week, 9:30, live on Facebook.